Hello everyone! Today we're going to be jumping back into Explorer with a mono green combo deck. So I'm sure a lot of you have already seen the Venerated Rot Priest, and that is one of our win conditions, but we actually have two ways that we can win with this deck. Our game plan is going to be fairly straightforward. Step 1 is to get one of these guys out onto the battlefield. We've got the Orochi Merge Keeper, who can tap for 2 if modified. We have Kami of Whispered Hopes. This is probably the best tap-based mana dork that we could have in this deck. It's going to double the number of +1/+1 counters we get when we put +1/+1 counters on permanents, and it's going to tap for mana equal to its power. Marwyn also is going to tap for mana equal to its power, and it's going to grow a little bit bigger if we play an elf. Notably, we will not be playing an elf, so we're going to have to find other ways to boost Marwyn's power. So how are we going to go ahead and do that? Well, we've got buff and untap spells, things like Witch's Web for +3/+3 and untapping a creature, Stony Strength for that +1/+1 counter untap. We also have Arachnoid Adaptation that's going to give +2/+2 reach and untap one of our creatures. We're going to be untapping this mana dork, growing its power, and having it tap for more and more and more and more mana. And all of that mana is going to let us continue to cast spells. We also have Snakeskin Veil for protection on our creature, could be very strong at stopping removal. And then another spell that we have here is Charge Through. Now this gives trample to one of our creatures and lets us draw a card. This is our secondary win con. Since we're going to be buffing these creatures a lot over the course of the game, Charge Through can give us trample and let us swing out for lethal damage if we make it that far. Now there's only one thing that we're missing before we can actually put together a win, and that's card draw. So Season of Growth is going to not only let us scry when we play our creatures, but it's also going to let us draw cards when we target them with spells. So notably, we do have a lot of cards that are going to be targeting our creatures since we want to keep on untapping them. And this is going to help refuel our hand so we don't run out of steam. We also have Return of the Wild Speaker, which can let us draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures we control, which in our deck is all of them. We have no human creatures. We can also give non-human creatures +3/+3, but we're not really going to be using that mode all too often. And then over here with the Expertise, we can do that same thing, draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control, and then we can cast a spell with mana value 5 or less from our hand without paying our mana cost. So this is a good way to close off some of our tap-untapping shenanigans, since it could very well just refill our hand and then reset us to untap and add some more mana again. Now, with Rot Priest on the battlefield, we only have to tap or untap 10 times, and we have way more than 10 cards that we can use to target our creatures. It's going to be a good way to get the win, and aside from that, we'll be going that power route, trying to build up a really big creature on turn 3 or 4 to win the game through combat damage. Now, if you guys have been enjoying my content, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on the latest videos. If you do enjoy this video, make sure you give it a like. Let's go ahead and see how this deck does. Alright, here we are on the play. Now, this is a little bit risky since we have no creatures, but we do have a Season of Growth. I'm going to go ahead and take a mulligan here, see if we can find something better. And this is better, so we'll go ahead, keep here. What do we think here? I think Witch's Web can go down at the bottom, and we'll start by playing lands. It's really important that we have one of our creatures, since our whole deck is going to fold without them. Okay. Well, off to a pretty good start here. Alright, nice. So maybe we're looking out for a Collected Company or something like that next turn. Okay, we have card draw, we have our Kami. This is looking really good. Snakeskin Veil is going to give 2 +1/+1 counters. Yep, Collected Company. Let's just hope that our Kami is not removed here. And it's not. So this is going to be looking really strong for us here. Okay, yeah, no blocks. Make your angel, yep, gain some more life. Alright, well, let's start with a Snakeskin Veil here. Now we can tap this for 3. Witch's Web, untap. I think we're gonna go ahead and draw that card here, just in case it was another untap spell. We go 6. Let's draw 6 cards. Perfect. Untap here. Tap for 8. Untap. Tap for 10. Untap. Let's go ahead, use the expertise, draw 12 cards. Let's see, we do get to cast one of these for free, and we've got it, alright. Alright, here we are on the play. This is a perfectly keepable hand. Let's go ahead and start with the Rot Priest here. Looking good. We did find our 3rd land for Marwyn. That's also going to be very strong for us. Get that first poison counter. Now, depending on what our opponent does here, we're just going to go ahead and use that untap. Keep our Rot Priest alive. And now our opponent can't attack either. Completely wasted turn. Moving to combat. Up to 4 poison counters. I think we just play out Marwyn here. If they use a spell to kill Marwyn, that's fine. Looks good. Never punished. Okay, I think here, just gonna play out the Orochi Merge Keeper. And we'll just pass the turn. I have Snakeskin Veil and Charge Through. Alright, looks good. Now I do think, end of our opponent's turn, I am going to go ahead and use that Charge Through so we can get that extra counter on the Rot Priest. And then draw a card. And there we go, that's an untap card. So, moving on to my turn. Let's go ahead, Snakeskin Veil. Poison counter, up at 6. We'll tap for 2 here. Untap. Tap for 5 here. Untap. Opponent up at 8 poison counters. Let's go for the expertise here. And we're gonna go ahead and cast Return of the Wild Speaker for free. Draw some more cards. And now we do have lethal here, so I'm just gonna go Rot Priest. And then we have so much mana, I'll just play another Rot Priest and then target with a spell. That's 3 more poison counters, we've got it. Alright, this looks like a great hand. We're gonna go ahead and keep. And we're playing into an opponent with a green deck. This is pretty fun. Start with the Rot Priest. This might be Devotion. I'm not sure. We're gonna go with Season of Growth. Swing with the Rot Priest, get that first poison counter. Now, I went with Season of Growth before the Merge Keeper. Just, yeah, this is definitely going to be a mono-green creature-based deck. Maybe it is Devotion. I think they have to be running Nykthos at this point. Stony Strength, perfect. No attacks, end turn. Okay, Cavalier, yeah. So we're going to be winning through the Rot Priest angle and not through combat damage. So end of our opponent's turn, I will go ahead and use Charge Through to draw 2 cards. Once we get there. Okay, no, it's a fight rigging deck. Okay, interesting. Not that it's not still mono green, but definitely interesting to see. Alright, well. We're going to start with another Season of Growth, then go Merge Keeper, and untap with Stony Strength. This is going to give it the +1/+1 counter it needs to be modified and tap for 2. Alright, well, let's tap it for 2. Play out another Rot Priest. Scry. Okay, Witch's Web is fine on top. Let's go ahead and untap. Give some poison counters. Draw 2 cards now. Tap that for 2. Untap. More poison counters. More card draw. Okay, we do find another charge through. This is going to let us draw 3. And all we have to do is find one more targeted spell. And we do have it. I'll play out the other Rot Priest first for fun. Just do the scrying. There we go, Stony Strength. And let's use that Snakeskin Veil. And we've got it. Alright, well this is too much card draw, so let's go ahead and take the mulligan. This is much better. Very closely aligned with what I want to see here. I think we're just going to go ahead bottom the Merge Keeper. And let's start with the Rot Priest. So Rot Priest is going to be a free win. Let's go. Alright, on the play, and this looks good. We've got that turn 1 Rot Priest, so maybe we'll see. Our opponent might just go ahead and get afraid and concede immediately. Yeah, Blackheath Cliffs. Willing to bet. No, Unlucky Witness. Alright. Move to combat. Swing in, get that first poison counter. Season of Growth, numero uno. Next up, we'll go for the Kami. Kami, hopefully that sets us up into one of our instants. That way we can go ahead on our next turn, be in a really strong spot. Can also double down on 2 Season of Growth for extra card draw. I think Kami is going to be the play here, though. It's going to let us scry. Yeah, that's perfect. Great draw. It's going to be better for our opponent to kill the Rot Priest, if they want to stay alive, than it is for them to kill the Kami. Because as I imagine it, next turn we play out Season of Growth. We untap Kami, draw 2. Maybe find something. I think they sack Blood type, kill Rot Priest. No, claim the Rot Priest. Interesting. And then sacrifice it to like a Deadly Dispute or something like that? No blocks. Deadly Dispute. Get that treasure token? Yep. That's fine. Alright. Season of Growth. Let's go ahead, untap. Draw 2. Interesting. We're gonna tap like that for Snakeskin Veil. Perfect. Tap down. +1/+1 counter. Untap. Draw 2. We should be able to get this now. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Let's go for the Expertise. And we get to cast the spell for free, so we'll pick Return of the Wild Speaker. And now here we are, we found a Rot Priest. Get to scry a little bit. So we are going to be able to win here. 30 cards in deck. Marlin, I'm fine with drawing. Let's go untap. If we draw into another Rot Priest, that's fine. We'll just go ahead and play it out. We can also just go for the win the game approach with combat damage. We might actually get there before we get to the Rot Priest. And we've got it. Alright. Alright, well, this is a hand. And I will choose to keep it. Yeah, plenty of creatures. Plenty of card draw. Looking pretty good. Season of Growth. The only thing we're missing is a couple of our untap spells. One or two of those, and our Kami's gonna pop off super quick. Alright, we're playing into an Angels deck. And they seem to be playing slow. Alright. The fact that they're... Okay, yeah, sure. Destroy the Season of Growth. That is fine. Fine by me. The Kami. Next turn, I think we go Marwyn, hold up Snakeskin Veil. Unless we draw some untapped shenanigans. Sarah Paragon. Sure. Yep. Our opponent's playing super slow. So I'm almost have non-existent levels of concern here. Okay, yeah. So they will be able to make another angel. Or not, okay. Yeah. They're not going to be able to gain that 5 life. Attacking with the Ilseed. Okay, so we have some choices. Let's start with Season of Growth. Now, I will tap down this, and we're going to hit the Kami with 2+1/+1 counters. Draw a card. Now let's play the Expertise, draw 3 cards. And then we'll be able to play a Return of the Wild Speaker for free, so that'll be 6 cards. Yeah. This is fine. Now, we could have played one of our untap spells to keep going here. But I think refilling our hand is going to be better. Our opponent's not going to kill us this turn. And now we're set up to super win next turn. Sure. 8. Yeah. 9, 10. It's about as good as it could get for us. Alright, well. Right off the bat, tap this for 3. Grow with the 2+1/+1 counters, draw a card. 5. Okay. Now, I do want to play out another Kami here, just because that's going to... Okay, Rot Priest, perfect. Untap. Let's play out a Rot Priest. Perfect, that's a good card to have there. Okay, 13. Untap, get some more +1/+1 counters. Expertise. Now, what do I want to play here? I think we're gonna just get out another Rot Priest, and we've got it. Alright. Alright. Interesting. We have the Kami here. We've got the lands to cast it. We got some ways to protect and untap it. I think this is fine. Now, would I recommend keeping this particular starting hand? Probably not. I mean, it's definitely going to be better to mulligan and try and find any way to draw cards. Right now, we have setup and no win con. But that's going to be okay. We'll get there. Nice. So our opponent's playing a Jace deck. It's probably like a control mill deck. Here's our Kami. We got Snakeskin Veil to protect it. We can make it larger with +1/+1 counters. Dreamroot Cascade. Makes me a little concerned of it being like a fog deck. Yeah, you can't really do that. I actually will not let you do that. Okay. Honestly, at this point, I don't need a hand. I don't need extra mana. I think I just need damage right now. We're just gonna push for the quick clock on our opponent. We're winning in 2 turns now. Our opponent has to do something. We know that they have interaction. But they're looking for it, so we're actually pressuring our opponent. This is the secret win con in our deck. Arboreal Grazer, sure. Crash Through, I'd love to see Trample here. That would be a great top deck, but no. We're just gonna go ahead and swing. Opponent blocks with the Grazer, yep. Alright. What are the odds? Scrying, let's see that go down to the bottom. Nope, they left that on top. Interesting. They have enough mana for another Eliminate, so we could lose our Kami here, and then we'll lose the game. But until this Kami dies, we are all on board the Kami train. Let's see. Opponent's thinking. Actually at a pretty good spot. Alright. Return of the Wild Speaker. That is draw 7 cards. I mean, that's kind of insane. Okay, end the turn. It's an instant, so we can wait on this. Now, he could have drawn last turn in hopes of finding something else. But I actually don't mind this. Okay, they cast the ultimatum. Interesting here. So, either way, with the extra turn, we're gonna lose this, right? So, let's go ahead and I think we just get rid of the agent anyway. This will buy us the most time. Okay. Yep. We have Return of the Wild Speaker. Yep, we're already tapped. Not going to be untapping, but that doesn't matter because we can, in fact, untap this. Honestly, my hope here... Yep. Sure. This is about as good as it could get for us. I want to see them attack with the Kraken. Perfect. We may just have been set up for success here. Let's go ahead and draw 7 cards. I need this to not get countered. Because we've got to find an untap spell, right? So we don't find an untap spell. But we do have this. Now we've got to find an untap spell, right? Yeah, there we go. Untap. This is going to be lethal for us. We've unlocked the hidden secret mode. Let's go ahead, swing in for 10. And we've got it, alright. Alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed. As we saw, this is a deck that has a decent amount of potential. Though I will warn you, you definitely have to be very careful with mulligans. You're not going to get lucky all the time, so it's going to be better than not to take a mulligan if you have a hand that you're just going to be sitting around doing nothing with. Because this deck, if it cannot combo, will just sit there and wait. And that's not really a fun way to play the game. You also have to look out for a couple of other things. So any deck that resolves Shieldred the Apocalypse, I mean, that's like a nightmare for us, right? We can no longer draw cards without being punished for that. and our deck is really not going to function after that point. Like, even with Rot Priest, we're looking at drawing about 10 cards, and that's 20 damage to win the game, right? So, like, at its base, that's not going to be fantastic for us. The other thing that we really have to be concerned about is decks that have a lot of interaction, right? So we can't really interact with our opponent's board, but if our opponent could just kill off our Mana Dork and or Rot Priest, right, there's nothing that we could do. So we have to make sure that we can protect our creature whenever possible into those types of decks. Now, obviously, I play games best of one, which is a fun format for getting off aggressive combos like this. If we were to play in a best of 3 scenario, I would definitely have more protection spells for the creatures available, and we'd be able to choose between those depending on our matchup. But always game 1, go for that quick aggro win, try and combo off as quickly as you can, and either deal a ton of damage with your big guy, or just get those poison counters and get out that win. Now, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you give it a like, and if you have any ideas for another deck that you'd like to see me make, why don't you go ahead and leave that as a comment down below. I'll see you all next time.